Chris, trivia question for you. And if you get this one, I will be extremely impressed. The last time the Buccaneers beat the Cowboys was in 2015. Who was the Cowboys quarterback in that game?
Wow, 2015. So it's not Tony Romo. He must have been hurt. And who would have been the backup then right there? I'm going to choke on the spot here. I don't know. Who is it?
Matt Castle.
Oh,
Matt
my
Castle.
gosh. I would have never came up with that. Never.
Wow,
I forgot he was even there.
He's one of those guys that he's played for so many teams, I could never even begin to list the teams that he played for other than the Patriots and the Chiefs. And I remember him with the Vikings, but I think he played for a bunch of other teams, but I can't keep track of all of them. All right, first pick for me. Hey, I got to go with what's hiding in plain sight, something we spent a lot of time talking about yesterday. Brady versus single-digit jersey numbers. That's the matchup. Is he going to be confused? Is this a ruse? Are they going to try to confuse him by having guys with different jersey numbers in different spots? And is he going to seem frustrated at times? He's made it an issue. He's flagged the matchup. Brady and his ability to discern who is who based upon the funky jersey numbers by virtue of the rule that was passed earlier this year, Chris.
Yeah, no, that's something I'll certainly have my eye on tonight on both sides of the ball to see if that ever confuses either one of these quarterbacks or messes up a running back in pass protection. That'll something I think. Week 1, Week 2, Week 3 in the NFL, I do think it's still going to be in a little bit of adjustment period for these offensive guys getting used to that. So I like that. It's a good pick by you. I'm going to go to one just on the outside because we haven't talked about it a lot. Hey, I'm going to go with Trevon Diggs versus Mike Evans. I mean, that one jumps out to me just from the sense of like things we talked about earlier. First off, this offensive line for Tampa can overpower you. You know, the Dallas Cowboys are going to have to play some single safety defense and bring a guy down in the box every now and then because they're going to have to be worried. Their defensive line is not going to just be able to stop this offensive line stone cold. So I get to that, and it's going to be some one-on-one matchups. If Trevon Diggs can win a handful of those and make Brady throw some incompletions on third downs, then, who knows what happens. But that is certainly one that would go a long way to maybe the Cowboys upsetting the Tampa Bay Bucs tonight.
Next one for me, and we mentioned this guy earlier, but I got to mention him again. Connor McGovern versus whoever the Buccaneers put in his face. And, I remember a time when we thought the end-all, be-all was having a great left tackle. Well, defenses realize there's 4 other positions on the offensive line. We can just find a weakness in one of them and start pouring guys through it. And the weakness, obviously, for the Cowboys, the absence of a Pro Bowl guard in Zach Martin. They're going to test McGovern, whether it's Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea, blitzing linebackers, whatever the case may be, they're going to try to see early on if McGovern will hold. And if he won't, Dak Prescott's going to have guys in his face all night long, and he is going to be testing that ankle as he dances around in the pocket trying to avoid the guys who are coming through. So McGovern's got to hold up, and if he can't, it's going to be a long night for the Cowboys offense. Yeah,
100%. I mean, yes, that interior part of that defensive line for the Tampa Bay Bucs is serious. Not let alone Sue and Vita Vea on first and second down. But any passing situation, they're going to be able to move. They got, again, a first-round Joe Tryon, first-round defense, and they're going to be able to put him and William Golston and JPP and Shaq Barrett on the field, too, to where they're going to have matchups of guys that are quicker and faster than them on the inside as well in passing situations that'll be worth watching. So another good one by you. I like that pick. I'm going to go with something I talked about a little earlier. I'm going to go Todd Bowles versus himself. Yeah, Todd Bowles, his history is blitz, aggressive, blitz, aggressive. I mean, that's why the Kansas City Chiefs came into the Super Bowl thinking like, well, he'll do what he always does. And he'll leave our receivers one-on-one, and we won't change our game plan. Well, of course we know that wasn't smart by the Kansas City Chiefs, but to me it just Bowles. The only way Tampa loses the game is he's over-aggressive, and Dak Prescott catches them in some blitz with some big aggressive passes down the field. So if he can rein that in like he did at the end of the year, Tampa wins this easy.
I hate to go back to the Tom Brady but I'm going to. I'm going to say Tom Brady versus his emotions, because one of the realities in New England when Tom Brady was there, if he got too emotional, there's a sweet spot, and it's one thing to be motivated, have a chip on your shoulder, Go out there and prove people wrong. But if you're emotional, if he's emotional, sometimes it shows up in his performance a little bit. And you think about it, this is going to be the first time he goes into a full stadium in Tampa. The night that they raise the banner, hey, he's got to approach each year like it possibly will be his last year. You never know when you're going to fall off the cliff. I know he's committed to 2 more and maybe more beyond that. But at this stage, he's got to at least be thinking about it. I think the key for him, as motivated as he will force himself to be, he's got to keep his emotions in check. If he's a little too emotional about anything and everything that could happen tonight in Tampa as the fans return, that's when we could see him off his game a little bit. So that's something to pay attention to.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the things that we all haven't discussed in football media, is the fan base, the fans being back in the stadium, quarterbacks and controlling their emotions, and now for the first time in a long time having to deal with crowd noise at the line of scrimmage as signals and communicating. And now the defense is finally going to have a little advantage for the first time in a long time, to where they're going to get a little jump start because, the offense can't hear the snap. So that is an element that I think, some of these quarterbacks and teams are going to be a little bit dealing with almost on a beginner level here to start the year, just because it's been so long since they had to deal with it. My last one, I'm going to go with DeMarcus Lawrence versus one of these offensive tackles, right? Tristan Wirfs, Donovan Smith. I just look at DeMarcus Lawrence as that guy that I go, man, if they want to win this game, he's got to make a few plays tonight. And he's got to be around Brady, make him uncomfortable on third downs, maybe cause another play, at some point during the game. But if he's not around Brady and creating some havoc, again, I just don't give the Cowboys a fighting chance. So I'm going to put a little pressure on him with that one.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I almost had Arians versus McCarthy because in a close game, somebody's going to have to make a key decision at a key moment, but I'm not ready to say it's going to be a close game. It may not matter. The coaches may not be a factor at all. It may just be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go out there and do what we expect them to do. But here's hoping for a close game. Here's hoping for an exciting start to the finish.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.